Good afternoon, everybody. We've made it through Friday, and I'm super excited. I can officially say it's my weekend now. So give me a minute. I'm going to make sure we are live on the correct page and get this link shared, okay? So bear with me for a minute or two, okay? Okay, I think I'm getting it here, okay? One more thing to do. All these little tasks in the very beginning, so like I said, just bear with me for a minute. Okay, I think I got it all done. Woo! I feel like I have been working most of the day because even when we took a break to go and do some stuff, I was running errands for the coach and just getting things that we needed. So I've just been doing stuff all day long. Hello, Linda. Yeah, I guess that's my new nickname, RV Mama. We're doing good though. I feel like I'm adjusting well. It's only been a couple of weeks, so we'll continue to tell you how I'm adjusting as the weeks turn into months, and we'll see. All I can tell you about Arizona, it's super dry here, so no matter what I do, I feel like I got flyaways, okay? Guess I'm going to have to use something else on my hair, but I feel like it's sticking up in every direction. Okay, I'm having a problem. Okay. Dang, that's the first time I've had a little bit of a glitch, so hopefully that's our only glitch today, okay? We've had our Starlink since yesterday, and I feel like we've had really great streaming. But again, we're still in how to be able to do this today. Okay, we'll see if we keep buffering, okay? You guys let me know if you're losing me completely when it buffers like that, okay? Jeannie is in the house. Hello, Joy and Lisa. Well, we're not driving today. We're in a park, but the weather here, we had a huge storm that rolled in yesterday. We seemed to do really good with our live yesterday with no hiccups, but today I've buffered a couple times. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. Okay. We are going to work on our straw hats. I'm super excited about these, and I know so many of you are too, because it sounds like everybody's ready to make a straw hat for summer. I think I have enough baseball caps, so the straw hats will be great. Okay, as I get going here, please do me a favor and ask questions and just write into the comments. I love to have all your questions because it keeps our conversation going, and I can help you guys along. Also, we're going to do a little giveaway, okay, which we haven't done for a while. So let's see, what do I have? Okay, well, we're not going to be giving that one away, but we're going to give away one of our March collections from Foil Club, okay? So if you saw last month's collection, it was gorgeous. Ashley's bringing me March and April Foil Club collections so I can play with them this next week. Yes, she's on her way, or will be soon on her way here to Arizona for the weekend. It's her time to come to spring training and get to spend time with her brother and sister-in-law and just have a family weekend. But if you would like to participate in our giveaway, we have very simple rules, okay? First of all, you just have to hit your share button and share this video with friends and family. and then come back into the comments and let us know that you sprinkled, you spread the love, or however you want to say it, okay? We do have to get 25 shares before we'll do a giveaway, but if everybody on here shares once, we'll be able to definitely do that, okay? Yeah, that LA storm, we were watching the news this morning, and man, that was pretty, that was a pretty intense storm that went through there. Okay, I'm going to bring my camera up a little bit. Okay, I think, let's see. Yeah, I feel like that's a better position. We'll see. I'll move things if I need to. Wanda says it's very windy in Texas. Joanne says we had a bad storm today and worked on baseball caps. Yay! It's always fun to have something to do when it's storming outside, okay? So Dan is out with one of his good friends. Joe and him are at the Angels and A's game. I opted out because I'm going to be at 2 more baseball games this weekend, and I felt I just had so much to do here that it was best that I stay. Plus, it's cold and windy out there, and I'm a fair weather baseball fan, okay? Joy, I do have tutorials for baseball caps. But I'll probably pull a cap out for next week and we'll start on those as well. But pretty much the process is the same for almost all of our hats. So no matter if you're working on a straw hat, a baseball cap, a felt hat, wool hat, the fedoras, the vegans, all of those, our process is pretty much the same. The only time we're going to be changing things up is depending on the fabric of the ball cap you have. You might need 2 coats of your Bondago instead of just 1, okay? Thank you guys for all of the sprinkles. Appreciate it. Darlene says 80 degrees in the middle of Georgia. Woo, you guys are getting warm already. Okay. So last night, if you had the chance to join me, I started this hat, started 2 of them, and I put on our Bondago in clear, okay, 1 coat on both hats. And now I'm going to, I shouldn't have taken the lid off. Okay, this is our foil adhesive. And actually, I think I want my small jar instead of opening this one. I think I just took that off the counter, but let's use up the smaller one first, okay? So we're definitely grabbing our Artsyville Embellishments foil adhesive. And we're going to put on a full coat, okay? So I do prefer to use my sticky plate when I'm doing this and not leave my jar open. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a little bit out here because I'm hoping that I can get both hats done. If not, I can always open the jar, but it seems like every time I'm opening the jar and getting product out of there, you get your lid sticky, okay? So if you haven't yet done, one of my great little tricks is before you screw your cap back on, you can place a small piece of press and seal over the jar and then screw the lid on, and it helps to not allow the lid to get stuck, okay? Paige says, hello, new to this, but so excited to do. I ordered the beginner's pack. Yay! Welcome, Paige. Okay. So, Paige, there is always tons of information on our main page here as far as tutorials that I'm doing on my lives. There's great resources on our website. You might want to check out the our YouTube channel as well. We try to just saturate everywhere with great information for not just newbies, but anybody that's doing foils, just making sure that you have all the answers that you possibly need, okay? So I think you guys can tell that even though I'm on a light surface, the foil adhesive does go on milky white, okay? And I am going to use a paper towel underneath the section that I'm working on. So I don't want, I've got what's called a silicone mat, but I'm going to try not to slime my silicone mat with the foil adhesive because it'll just make it sticky. One of the things I forgot to pack for this trip was my craft paper, okay? And we are just making do without it. I'm going to grab my big roll when we go back through Huntington Beach in a little over a week. Oh, Kelly, well, thank you so much for your support. We appreciate your guys' orders. Definitely keeps us in business, and we are here to help in any way we can because we want each and every one of you to be successful with all of your projects, okay? So I'm doing basically the same application I did yesterday. Everywhere that I put our Bondago clear down first, I am now coming back and putting the foil adhesive there, okay? And just like with the Bondago clear, don't be skipping, okay? Your Bondago clear is meant to seal your surface that you're working on. And then the foil adhesive needs to be on there so that you'll have a nice, great, tacky surface for your foils to transfer to. So don't try to put it on so thin that you don't have enough material to work with. Recently, I'd had an email from somebody who didn't have a great release. And through our conversations, I discovered that she had applied the foil adhesive with a foam brush, okay? And now, I don't mind using foam brushes, and there are times I recommend them, but you want to be careful with using them because if you are just brushing on like I am with a foam brush, so say you grab some of the foil adhesive and you brush it on like this with a foam brush, most likely it will not apply enough material. Okay, so with the foam brushes, I normally use them for my pouncing technique. And that way I'm working on stuff like wood cutouts, letters, things that I don't want the foil adhesive to go down the side. I want it to stay on the top surface. So I do use foam brushes, but I use them only in a certain way. The thing about them is they just don't tend to lay down enough of the foil adhesive, and it's just so thin that it won't give you a good release, okay? It's just not putting enough product on the surface. So if you're brushing on, use a regular art brush is great. As you can see, mine are well loved, okay? I use my brushes until they're just so beat up they won't work anymore, but that is just how I roll. Let's see. Oh, Joanne said she received her starter kit. Or received my order. Can't wait to start your hat. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm glad I'm on the hat mode here because it seems like we got a lot of people doing hats and all kinds of hats, okay? Baseball caps are probably my favorite. And the only other thing I need to find me is I have not found a visor to work on because visors are probably the type of hat I wear the most. Because I can get my hair up in the back and still wear a visor, and I just feel like they fit my head better. But I need to find myself a good visor to work on. The process, you guys, is, like I said, pretty much the same. The only thing that I think you might be changing or altering is how many layers of the Bondago you possibly need for sealing the surface, okay? So yesterday we were talking mainly about the Bondago because that is the product I was using first to seal the straw hats before I got started with the foil adhesive. And the reason that I used the Bondago was this hat seemed like it could be kind of porous, meaning I was afraid my foil adhesive could actually soak in to the hat, which again could give me a lower tack than I want with my foil adhesive. So I decided that it would be good to seal this. Okay, I'm trying to get underneath all of this stuff up here on the front. I'm going to see if I have a foil that will work with the beads that are on here. If not, I might end up removing this, but I left it to start with because sometimes some decor is better than none. Okay, so a little tricky to get in on that area, but you could also tape if you were afraid that your brush might get somewhere it's not supposed to, okay? And put the foil adhesive on the beads as well. But if I did, it's probably the bottom of the bead and I'm probably okay. Darlene said her visor was fun to foil. Yes, I need to grab some, okay? Joy says that I'm in the hat game trying to learn. Oh, that's awesome, Joy. You will love working with the foils on your hats. It's fun. There's so many people that are into the burning, embellishing, and so many different ways. I think it's great to kind of combine different techniques together. So if you are a hat artist, you can incorporate the foils into other techniques that you do. Okay, so you are definitely noticing, you guys, I'm not skimping here. I'm making sure I've got good coverage. I don't want to end up at the end where I'm ready to transfer my gorgeous foils and not have a nice tacky surface to work on, okay? So I think I just about made it around. The hardest part is just trying to stay neat around. Oops, hopefully, oh God, I dropped that twice. So let's go for 3 times, Jen. Okay, let's get this out of the way. It keeps getting caught there. There we go. Okay, I am going to wash that off because otherwise it will be sticky, okay? I keep trying to move it out of my way. Probably should have taken it out and off, but I was trying to work around it instead of having to remove it. That's not always the best option, obviously, that it fell right in my foil adhesive. Wouldn't have cared if it fell into the Bondago because that would have been no big deal, but the foil adhesive is going to make it sticky. So what I'll wait and do is once the foil adhesive tacks up completely, I will go ahead and rinse off this part, okay? Which that is the string to hold it underneath your chin on a nice windy day, which there's been a lot of those lately. Okay, so if you feel like you can't tell if you've gotten somewhere, the foil adhesive starts to dry down pretty quickly, or goes clear, I should say. And when it clears out, it should be getting shiny. So you can see that the hat is a little bit shinier here than it is here where there is no product, okay? None of my product on that part. So you should be able to tell where it is. The nice thing is that it is milky white, so it's easy to see as you're putting it on. Okay, let me get that one out of the way. And we're going to get our second hat. And then I'm going to scroll here for a minute and get caught up on comments, okay? Oh, let's see. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, Lori's saying she got us several hats for $1 last season. Oh, can't wait to get started on those. That is a great deal. Linda said she needs foil suggestions for a hat for a lady who does rodeo. Oh my gosh. I would check out Noelle and Easton. Okay. Those just kind of give me that vibe, and I think they would be gorgeous. Okay. Noelle needs to be on a light not Noelle. Easton needs to be on a light colored background. So depending on the color of your hat, you might have to choose one or the other. Linda, why don't you post your hat project over in Foil Everything so we can see the hat and help you decide which foil would be best, okay? Cami is saying, so should we use Bondago for these hats? Yes. It is advisable to put the Bondago down first. It's doing a couple of things. This hat here seemed really slick. Okay, this straw material, there's some kind of coating on it. And I was afraid that my foil adhesive might not bond to it as well as it needs to on its own. So that was the main reason I put the Bondago down on this one. This straw hat felt like it could be porous, and I was afraid my foil adhesive would soak into the straw hat. So for those two reasons is the why I put the Bondago down first. But it is great to use it. I mean, it's just like an insurance layer for you, okay? Oh, Joy's asking where she got the visors. Yeah, we all need to know where you got your visor. Cami says, I burn and paint suede and wool hats, so I'm excited to add foils. My starter kit should be here tomorrow. Woo, how exciting, Cami. Joy says, what would be a good way to attach jewels and feathers to the hats? I have used hot glue, and I know other people will also use like E6000. And I know that there's some newer versions of E6000, so I was planning on getting that as well, because I feel like hot glue, I mean, I burn my fingers and get it all over me, but I'm not sure it's probably the best holder. But you might be able to find somebody in this group that can chime in as well and suggest what glues they're using. I don't think Linda Jackson is on here right now, but make sure you go into, oh, Linda is here. Okay. Dang, Linda, I just looked up and saw your name. Linda probably has some suggestions for what she uses. She is definitely fabulous with her hat application. And like she said, Easton was great over yellow. Let's see. Awesome. I need to, oh, Cami, yes, grab yourself the Bondago. You don't want to miss out on that, okay? Susan is saying, what is the difference between foil adhesive and Bondago? Okay, so Bondago is a paint and primer all in one. Its main property is a bonding primer. So it will adhere to just about any surface and it will seal it for us. So if we're afraid that my surface is too porous or too slick, the Bondago is the first thing that you want to put down. Now, the Bondago is only to prepare your surface for the application of foil, because Bondago has nothing to do with transferring your foil, okay? It's just preparing the surface so it's ready for the application. Foil adhesive is what I'm putting on right now, and it will dry to a hard, firm tack and provide a tacky surface to transfer and release the foil from the carrier sheet. So hopefully that explains it pretty well, but they are two completely separate products. You basically need both of them. And we're just firm believers in the Bondago to make sure that you have the best success with your projects, okay? if you were going to do like fabric only, okay, and you were just going to be doing stuff like I'm wearing, okay, this is my apron. It says believe, even though it's backwards. If you were just going to be doing wearable fabric, meaning stuff you're going to throw through the washer, like your t-shirts, your sweatshirts, your jeans, okay, just stuff that was wearable only, okay, not your shoes, not your hats, because that's a different process for all of that. You would not need Bondago, okay. So we'll be getting into fabric application hopefully next week, because I am right next door to a thrift shop that looks like it's fabulous, because I want to tell you that parking lot has been full every day we have walked or driven by there. So I'm just going to make sure Dan goes with me, and we are going to do a little thrift shopping, hopefully by Monday at the latest. So I'm going to go find some denim to work on. Who knows what else I can find, okay? Okay, I'm working here with sticky fingers, so give me a minute so that I can maybe chime in and go look at more questions, but keep them coming. We don't want anybody to be confused. So just a little bit of background. Okay, I've been in the painting industry for 35 years. I'm a firm believer in prep, meaning that I don't think it's worth starting a project, doing a project, putting all my time and effort into whatever I'm working on if my surface has not been prepped correctly. Because if you're going to have failure, your failure normally is in your first layer. And if you have not prepped your surface correctly, that means everything is going to fail all the way down to that layer, which then all the effort, all the money, all the time that you've put into that project is going to be a waste. So I am the big prep person, okay? I rather spend an extra day, an extra layer or two, whatever it is, to make sure my surface is prepared and ready for the application of whatever I plan on doing, okay? So my background is extensive, not just doing some arts and crafts. I was a licensed contractor up on scaffold rigs doing full wall installments of plasters and textures, foils, paints, murals, you name it. Okay, I have done it. So being prepared and preparing your surface is just, you know, part of the key to a successful project. And that is my mindset, and that is just the way I've worked for so many years, okay? I don't want to sit here and work on a hat, whether it's just a hat or a piece of furniture or whatever it is, and put a whole lot of effort into something and have it go sideways on me. And then everything I put into it was a waste and I have to start all over. So if Bondago is what I call an insurance layer, that your surface is sealed and primed and it's bonding to whatever you're working on, I think it's worth its weight in gold, okay? Let's see. Would you need, what would you need for foam? Okay, so Susan, give me an idea what the foam is that you're working on. Cammie says E6000 is what she uses. E6000 is, I mean, that stuff bonds. Just don't get it on you, okay? I think I'm caught up, other than I was asking Susan what kind of foam you're working on so that I can answer that better. And I love you guys are helping each other out and asking each other questions. Thank you for supporting one another here. This, you guys, when I come live, I am going to be working on every step of the project. I'm never going to have things prepared ahead of time, because I think you need to see and experience the process, okay? Sorry, I felt like I had something sticky on my hand. I'm here for our community. I'm here to answer your questions. Some of the steps are boring, but they have to be done. So if you're looking for super fast tutorials where you can just speed through and get to the questions that you need answered, I have a YouTube channel where I do videos just for that process, okay? So please feel free. I'm never offended. I do have people who will come on here and say, oh my gosh, she talks too much. And I'm going, yes, I do, but that's what this is all about, okay? I still talk a lot on my YouTube channel, but you can speed through or put me at 2 or 3 times, okay? And speed through that process a little bit faster if you need. Okay, I'm going to scroll back here for a second. Susan, styrofoam balls. Okay, so I have done the styrofoam half balls for like a wreath centerpiece, but those are the really, really dense styrofoam. I have never been successful on any that have a lot of holes and pits in them. But you definitely want Bondago down on those first. Depending on what color foils you're going to be using, I use the Bondago black a lot on the styrofoam, okay? I feel like I missed that whole edge, but I'm trying to critique as I'm going. But yes, Bondago, prime those styrofoam. Make sure you've got a good coat on it. Let it dry for at least 3 to 4 hours. Make sure that Bondago is good and dry before you go to your foil adhesive, okay? You don't want to go too quick. I let the Bondago dry overnight on these straw hats. It probably didn't need to dry that long, but when we're doing lives, it's just, there's, you know, we've got to let things dry for hours. So normally things just dry overnight. Okay, I'm definitely being generous here. And I'm also going to do the top section as well because I put the Bondago there. So I sealed the top of the hat, knowing I wanted to put the foil up here as well. And I'm going to try to do like a torn edge look, okay? So I'm going to be kind of rough with my outside edge application, okay, where I'm not going to try to put that on perfect. And I want it just to look kind of worn and torn for this area. And hopefully I get that look, okay? We'll see if I can achieve what my mind's eye has thought of doing, okay? So I'm just doing this crown part here. And I'm going to make sure, okay, so with your straw hats, there's a lot of highs and lows. And you definitely want to try to get your adhesive and your Bondago down into all of those crevices, okay? Now, be prepared that when you're on a weave like this one, you are going to end up with having some seepage, okay? So be prepared for that because what I'm going to come back and do, this hat here had 0 seepage because of the way it's woven and put together. So the back side, I'm not feeling anything come through. This one's going to be fine. Okay, with the way this hat is weaved, it's definitely seeping through a little bit. Okay, I can see it there really well. So I'll probably come back when I'm completely done and put Bondago clear on the inside and just make sure I don't have any sticky fill, okay? Okay, so our foil adhesive is on there. I'm going to bring you guys up for a minute and I'm going to see if I got some questions I haven't answered. I know that you guys are replying to each other, so I will stay out of those, okay? Okay, yes, styrofoam balls for a wreath centers, perfect. I think I just did one a couple of weeks ago. If you are wanting to check it out, you might go back and look at my lives from maybe close to 3 weeks ago, because I've been on the road for 2 weeks, okay? Let's see. Linda says, I have a Dollar General if you have a Dollar General in their craft section as a scraper that has made releasing the foils so easy. I think it's $2 for me. It was a game changer. Okay, Linda, do me a favor. Post a picture of that over in Foil Everything group so we can see what you're talking about. Patrick says he watched one of my videos from 3 years ago and you used Art Deco gel with a Cricut mini press. Can you still do that with APS adhesive? If you're using the mini press, you need to use one of the fabric foil adhesives, okay? Mini press isn't going to work with mine. Mine doesn't do like heat activation where all of our fabric foil adhesives do, okay? Rose said she just ordered a beginner's kit. We got a lot of you guys that have just been ordering those. That's awesome. Miss Ashley is in the house. Yeah, she hasn't, I think, seen my lives here in the coach yet. Okay, well, this is only the second one we've done where we've kept streaming, okay? We had a snafu with the first one I tried to do because that was before we had Starlink set up. Rose. This one, I believe I picked up at like probably in Las Vegas or something, where you just pick up in those like ABC stores, those cheap liquor stores. They got really cheap hats, okay? So I think that's where I got this one. The other one here that has the beads on it, I think this came from one of our trips to Mexico, okay? I think one of the girls bought it down there and somehow I inherited. So it's now getting foiled, okay? Also, we were at Walmart today and they did have some straw hats. They were around $17, okay? So just an FYI, if you're looking for something, they had a navy blue one. I almost pulled the trigger, but I was like, well, maybe not yet, okay? Let's see. Linda says, I don't glue feathers and jewels on the hat. Some people might like the hat and not the decorations I use. Oh, so I twist tie the feathers and jewels together so that it can be removed if the person wants to purchase, can wear it with or without. That is a great idea. And Linda, thank you for sharing that. Because yeah, that's true. I know that I had a hat that had a lot of stuff on it and I took a lot of it off. Okay, it was years ago. Joanne, yes, you can use foil adhesive without the Bondago if you are on a good sealed surface. Okay, so it doesn't always have to be there. What's the group called? Oh, I'll put the name of it here. Oh, let's see if it gives me the link. Oh, it's not giving me the link. Okay, I was trying to get the link for you, but you'll just have to go search for it. But it's called Foil Everything. Cammy says she doesn't glue the hat band or accessories unless the customer requests it. Oh, I love that. Okay, great ideas here, you guys. We're getting a lot of information on working on hats. So Mel Sue says, I just logged on. Was that the adhesive that you just applied? And if so, how long will you wait to add the foil? Okay, yes. I've done 2 layers so far on the hat. So the first layer I did yesterday, which is our Bondago, and I let that dry overnight. I just got finished putting on our regular foil adhesive. And yes, I will let it dry overnight. If you're in a nice, warm environment, I would say that 4 to 6 hours is probably plenty. If you're in cold areas, then definitely, you guys, let stuff dry overnight. And that was one of the things I said I was going to talk about today as well. working in the winter. So when you start working on your projects and it's winter time and it's 20, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, your house is cool, the temperature's cool, there's humidity, more humidity in the air, things are going to take longer to dry. So even if you have your house nice and warm and toasty, realize the humidity level is probably a little bit higher. Other than it being in Arizona, I think the humidity is super low here, as I feel like a dry snake, okay? But just know things might take longer to dry. Be patient. You're better off letting it dry an extra hour than going really fast and trying to speed through the process. And I think you'll be happier with all your results in the end that you are being patient and waiting, okay? Let's see. Cami says, I make different bands and accessories for return customers. Oh, that is so awesome. Okay. Paige says, I need to come to the Cincinnati, Kentucky area. We will definitely be that way, okay? I was hoping to get to it today, but I didn't. We're going to really start working on our travel journey and figuring out where we're going after Sacramento. We will be probably up in Sacramento for 2 to 3 weeks, just depending on weather. And then we'll be heading east. And I just don't know where that first stop was going to be. I thought it was going to be Colorado, but I got a feeling we're not going to head to Colorado just because of Colorado can be a little bipolar with its weather, and we just don't want to hit any winter storms, okay? So definitely keep a lookout for locations and events throughout the rest of the year as we are traveling, because we are going to be hosting some in conjunction with our retailers, okay? So we are hoping to see as many of our retailers as possible on this journey and doing some events with them. So that'll be absolutely great. Joy is asking, how would you attach ribbon? Just tie it? And yes, you can just tie it on. I have done that as well. And that way, like they say, you can easily remove it or keep it on. Lynn, I am having a great time. Oh, we've had somebody here. It is Halbera. I'm not sure if that's how I pronounce your name. She says, in Phoenix, and this is my first time live to see us. Well, I'm in Mesa right now because of spring training. So I am here, and I'm hoping that we're going to be getting to at least stop by and say hello to one of our retailers in Buckeye on our way out and back to California. So welcome, and I'm glad you got to join us. Okay, one last reminder. At the very beginning of the video, we were talking about that I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away, and this is not it, okay, but a collection of our foils from the March Foil Club collection. So that will be 5 different foils and 2 feet each. So it'll be 10 feet of foil, which is a great deal. And all we have to do is get 25 shares. So if you haven't had a chance to share our video yet, if you would, we'd appreciate it. Just share it to your personal page so all your friends and family can see it, and hopefully we'll find a few more followers. As long as we get 25 shares, we will do our giveaway. So you do have to come back once you've shared it. Come back into the comments and let us know that you did share. So let me know that you sprinkled, you spread the love, however you want to say it, but we need to put all your names into the virtual hat so we can pick a winner. Oh, Rose, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, Cami says she will be in Peoria on April 4th through 8th. I will actually be gone by then. We are heading out of here, I think, on the 20th. We're going to head back to Parker, Arizona, back to Huntington, and then after that up to Sacramento. We're going to be there for the A's home opener against the Cubs. So this is truly a journey that's kind of following my son, and we are making sure to see all of our retailers and take care of business on the way. So we're having a great time. Let's see, did I miss anything? Oh, I will put a link in your page for you after the video is over. It's a link from our website that has all of our retailers listed, and you can see if there's somebody in your area that you can visit, which I think is so great because it's nothing better getting to see the foils up close and personal, okay, and touch them and look at them, okay? So hopefully there's somebody close by for you. Okay, guys, if I've missed any questions, I will go back and answer them later. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And if not before, I will definitely be back probably on Monday. Okay. Like I said, I got Ashley flying in. We've got a family weekend, okay, with everybody here. Not everybody, but a bunch of us are here in spring training for the weekend. So I'm probably not going to come live, okay? But if you have questions, you know, you can email me. You can go into the Foil Everything group, just tag my name. But there's a lot of help in that group as well. And that's it, guys. Have a wonderful evening and weekend, and we'll see